Hi, good afternoon and welcome to Bio classes. So yesterday we started the new chapter of your first PU syllabus, that is the living world. And already I explained one characteristic of living organisms, that is growth and development. So especially growth I explained yesterday. But here is a problem for continuing the classes. The problem is that already you are very near to your results. That means already I think very 3 days to go. August 3rd maybe, yes. So within 3 days you are getting your results, and once the result announced means again many of your friends may enter the group, many of your friends will join the WhatsApp group. Now only if you start the syllabus means for those students who are the coming in entering the group, for those newcomers it will be difficult to handle the classes, so they will not get the classes thoroughly. So because of those newcomers who are joining after 3 days, so for them right now we are unable to continue the syllabus. Yes, because of that reason still 3 days, this day next another 2 days, still 3 days, let's have very beautiful discussion on some important phenomena related to the plants in our botany. I hope these 3 days, 1 2 3, these 3 days will be very interesting regarding the beautiful phenomenon occurring in the plants. And yesterday, related to the yesterday concept, yesterday I explained that growth concept. Related to that one, Basavaraj Chaudhary, that student asked a question. It is a major question, very interesting question, a general question. Most of the times you will also get that kind of question. So let's see the question first. What is the question asked by Basu, and after that one let's have the discussion on that one. See the question first.
Namaste sir. Trees are indeterminate, but in human beings, hairs are growing until death. And why it is called determined? Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Basu. What is Basu's question here? He is asking that yesterday I explained that concept. Plant growth occurs continuously throughout their life, so that growth is continuous. But in case of animals, growth is restricted. It occurs to certain stage and then growth gets stopped. But in case of plant, it occurs continuously. Why? Because plants are having meristematic tissue. So yesterday I explained that concept. So regarding that one, he is asking that in case of animals also, for example in human beings only, if we consider hair growth is continuous, that growth occurs throughout our life, then why it is not considered to be the determined, it is indeterminate, why it is not considered to be the continuous growth? So he is asking that question. Of course hairs are growing continuously, hair is growing continuously throughout our life. Not only hair, even nails also. So nails also growing continuously throughout our life. But thing is that imagine if we cut our nails, we cannot feel the sensation of pain. If we cut our hairs, we cannot feel the sensation of pain. But if we remove our nails, then it will be very, very painful. If you remove our hairs in this manner only, it will be painful. What it indicates? So here at this bottom side, here we are having the living cells. In the same way, at the at the root of hairs, we are having living cells. Root hair, we are having living cells. But apart from that portion, remaining extra all the portion of the hair is having dead cells. Here also dead cells are there because of deposition of that keratin protein inside the cell. Here also keratin protein deposited. So here these are the dead cells, not the living cells. But in case of the plants, living cells are dividing continuously and the growth occurs continuously. Here hair growth is occurring because of a deposition of the dead cells. So that is the difference here. Right? Okay, coming to our interesting concept, today's interesting concept. Before entering the class, tell me which one is the very interesting part in the plant body? Interesting part in the plant body, or the part which is very responsible for development of that entire plant. Yes, what is that one? Yes, seed. Okay, we are having so many things, but seed is compulsory. Whenever there is seed, then only we can get the plant. That means the entire future plant is restricted in the hidden form inside that small seed. Imagine we can get the banyan tree, people tree, arali mara. People tree, if you imagine its size, it is a very huge tree, but if you observe its seed, it is a very minute seed, even smaller than the mustard seed, sasve bija, even smaller than the mustard seed. Seed is to that size, but a huge plant, if you observe that one, to that extent it has developed. But thing is that entire, for development of that entire plant, all the things are present in that small seed. That means seed is just considered to be a small universe. In case of botany, seed is the small universe here. It is having all the things. So let's, in this class, let us see how the seed is very important in case of the botany, and related to the seed germination, how the seeds are going to germinate. Yes. So let me consider the first one, seed. What actually the seed is? So seed is a future seed, future plant. Why? Because seed is having the embryo inside. The major thing, from that embryo new plant get arised here. And here morphologically we can differentiate the seed into two types here majorly. The first one is monocot seed. And the second one is dicot seed, right? We are having two types of seeds, monocot seed and dicot seed. The name itself suggests monocot seed means the seed made up of single cotyledon, or the seed having single cotyledon. Dicot seed means this seed is having two cotyledons. So this is the general thing already you know about very well. Monocot seed and a dicot seed, those are compulsory, must be having embryo inside. So they must be having embryo. Let me write here. And because of this embryo is actually the future plant. The future plant planning is present in this embryo in the hidden form. So this embryo compulsory they must be present in monocot seed and dicot seed. If the embryo development is not proper, then even though it is having cotyledons, that seed will not germinate, seed will not develop into plant. So embryo is compulsory here. And here for this one monocot seed, if we consider some of the best examples, rice grain, wheat grain, maize, chia maize. So most of the millets, those are example for the monocot seeds here. In the same way, say here if we take the rice grain seed and if we crush, if we apply some certain pressure, means it will not divide exactly into two pieces. So that is the thing here. But in case of dicot seed, so the seed get divided into two equal pieces, two cotyledons. So for that one, the best example, if we consider general example, what we are seeing in our daily life. So groundnut, right? This is the best example. And one more, if we consider Bengal gram. Groundnut, Bengal gram, almost all grams. So gram seeds are belonging to this category. P also, that is the dicot seed. So here dicot seeds, whenever we are breaking that seed, we are getting exactly two cotyledons. So such kind of one seed let us consider here. So here I have drawn a seed. What is the seed? Which is seed here? Here already I have written. Yes, it is a Bengal gram seed. Kadle bija. It is a Bengal gram seed. If you consider the Bengal gram seed, it is a dicot seed. It is having two cotyledons. And here seed is covered by a seed coat externally. Here a seed coat is present, right? And the color of seed coat is different in different stages. When the Bengal gram seed present in the young condition, when it is present in the softness, when it is having the softness, at that time the total seed coat present in a green color, greenish color. So guys, it is a greenish in color, that means seed coat is green, and we can remove that seed coat. It is a thin layer, we can remove it. After removing that one, inside we can get two cotyledons, right? And here when the seed get matured, when the seed is going to be dried, After the maturation, the same green color seed coat get converted into chocolatey color, brown color, little bit brown color. That means seed coat color is changing here. So here this is seed coat. Actually it is made up of 2 layers, and those 2 layers we will refer them as testa and tegumen. 2 layers we are having, testa and tegumen. Testa means outer layer of seed coat, tegumen means inner layer of seed coat. Imagine when the seed is green at that time, this seed, if you remove the seed coat, outer portion of the seed coat is greenish in color, inner portion of the seed coat it is little bit creamish white in color. That means it is having two layers, that seed coat. So one is testa, another one is tegumen. Here the testa means it is the outer seed coat, and tegumen means it is the inner seed coat. Like that we are having 2 seed coats, and these 2 seed coats we will refer them as integuments. Yes, what we will refer them as? Integuments. Integument means, imagine the seed what we are saying here right now, this seed is developed from the ovule of the ovary. In the flower we are having the stigma, style, ovary. I think you are getting those parts. Stigma, style, ovary. Inside ovary some chambers are present. Those chambers will refer them as ovules. One ovule developing into one seed. So here in the ovule some layers are present, outer layers. Those outer layers will refer them as integuments, or the term integument. We will refer it as integument. So here integuments are 2, one becomes testa, one becomes tegumen. So these are together called as seed coat. After rupturing the seed coat, we will get the cotyledons. At one tip we are getting the embryo, major portion. And before that one, if you observe here one small mark is there on the seed, and small depression is there here. That depression we will refer it as hilum. Hilum means it is a special scar or mark on the seed. To this hilum funicle structure is attached. What is that funicle? Imagine in human beings, pregnant mother, inside the pregnant mother there is a baby right now here. So let me show here the diagrammatically. If we consider the pregnant mother, inside the pregnant mother body, imagine this is the uterus, not exactly like this. Now imagine the uterus has been enlarged here, and inside this one here the baby is there. Imagine baby is there inside, and between the baby and the mother body there is a connection, right? One connection is there. That connection we will refer it as umbilical cord. Here umbilical cord, in Kannada we will refer it as a hokkalaballi. And between the baby and the mother body there is a tube like structure, umbilical cord, and after once the delivery over they are going to cut the umbilical cord and they are going to tie down the baby's body here at this portion, right? Just like umbilical cord, in case of the seed there is a funicle. That funicle structure earlier attached here, that attached mark we will refer it as hilum. And here just to this hilum we are having a small pore, and this is a special pore. We will refer this pore as micropyle. We will refer it as micropyle. Micropyle means it is a small microscopic hole present on the seed coat. Through the hole oxygen may enter, carbon dioxide may come outside, water will enter. That means this pore helps in the exchange of gases as well as for entry of water as well as for exit of water also. Say for example, if you take the dry seed and immerse in the water, soak in the water, and wait for 5 hours or 6 hours, after that if you observe the seed, means actually seed size will be enlarged because of entry of water. How the water is entering inside the seed means, here the water is entering inside the seed through this microfile hole, as well as during the germination of the seed requires oxygen, intake of oxygen. That intake of oxygen, it happens through this small pore, microfile. So these are the external things what we are observing here. Suppose if you break this seed, imagine I am going to break this seed. After breaking, I can get this kind of structure. Now imagine both the after breaking, both the cotyledons get opened. Now these are the two cotyledons, and both the cotyledons are held by a special structure like this. This special structure is nothing but embryo, and here what I am showing right now here, not this much of bigger embryo, it will be very small. In case of groundnut, you can easily get that one. When we break the groundnut, at the tip of the groundnut, one side of the groundnut it will be sharp. At the tip region, after breaking, we can get this kind of embryo. So here also an embryo is there. This embryo, when we observe under the one lens microscope or under the normal lens, it looks like one stick, small white stick. We will refer it as embryonal axis. Yes, here we are having two cotyledons. Now both the cotyledons connected by the embryonal axis. So this is the embryonal axis, and what actually these two cotyledons are having means, these cotyledons are having the stored food material. Here the food is stored already. That food will be supplied to the embryo for its development, right? And in the embryo, this tip region, we will refer it as plumule. So this tip region is plumule, and this lower tip here, it is referred as a radicle. Keep these terms. The upper tip is the plumule and the lower tip is the radicle. And after developing, the plumule becomes a shoot and the radicle becomes a root. Shoot plus root together, they are going to form the entire plant body. This is the thing. That means entire plant present in this hidden form, that is the embryo. This is the future plant actually, right? And here if we consider, this is seed germination. How the seed is going to germinate? Very interesting one. So these are the generally grass-like structures. Imagine this is the ground. Now we have soaked the seed here. Right now this is the seed, dicot seed. Yes, here is the mark. So this is the seed. Right now it is present in the soil, not to the very depth, just near to the ground. If the seed, if we soak the seed to a large depth means, to a very depth means, it will not germinate. Why? Because seed needs oxygen. Yes, if it is present to a more depth means it will not get the oxygen, then it will not germinate. For the germination of the seed germination, molake odiyodu. For the germination of the seed, oxygen is compulsory. Hence, it should be near to the ground. And here we are giving the proper amount of water and oxygen also available. How the oxygen is available means the total soil is porous in nature. It is having the gaps in between. Through the gap oxygen is entering. That will use that oxygen. How that oxygen is entering means through these microfiles, right? And here I am not exactly shown that this is seed. So that is also a dicot seed. During a germination, when the seed is opening, so at the time, here a small embryonal structure that will come over here, right? And after some days the structure becomes like this. After few days the structure looks like this, and after again few days, if you observe, the structure will be looking like this. Yes, and again if you wait for few days after the that is exactly proper development, then the structure will be looking like this. Yes, so this is how we are getting the seed germination step by step, how the plant is arising. From the seed we will get the seedling, from the seedling we will get the plantlet, from the plant we will get the young plant, from the young plant we will get the mature plant. So these are the stages how the plant is developing here. Now imagine seed present in the soil. So here we are giving, first thing we have to give water, or there must be water in the soil. Second thing oxygen. Third thing temperature. So these are very necessary conditions for seed germination. There must be water, oxygen and temperature. And when the water is given to the seed, that is entering through the microfile end, and imagine here already seed is present in the dried condition. Before that soaking of the seed is present in the dry condition, and that dry substance, dry seed, it will absorb the water. After absorbing, it will swell, its size will increase. So that increase in the size of this dry seed, that process we will refer it as imbibition. So imbibition means it is the process of adsorption of water by the dry seed or dry parts. So here the seed is already dry, it is absorbing a water, lot of amount of water, its size will increase. Imagine we are blowing a balloon, huge balloon, we are blowing the balloon, size of the balloon is increasing, again we are blowing, the size is at more increasing. After certain level the balloon will burst. In the same way, here also water is continuously entering inside the seed. Inside the, because of accumulation of water, inside pressure will increase more. At one time, the seed coat will rupture. This outer seed coat will rupture. When seed coat will rupture, both the cotyledons earlier who have been attached, both the cotyledons, they will start to move apart, and that embryo start to develop. It will start to emerge. In the embryonal axis, the radicle will grow downside in downward direction and becomes root. Plumule it will develop in upward direction and become shoot. Shoot means stem, branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, all the upper aerial parts. So the plumule becomes all the parts of aerial parts of the entire plant. Now here it get germinated. Now both the cotyledons are separating. Now here let me have the same diagram. Just we observed this portion as the embryonal axis, right? In the embryonal axis, this is the upper tip and this is the lower tip one. So what we refer this upper tip as, this is the plumule. right? And this is the radicle. So here plumule below this side, let me consider plumule lower side and radicle upper side. Here these two portions are present here. This portion we will refer it as hypocotyl, and this portion we will refer it as epicotyl. Hypocotyl and epicotyl, two portions are present here. This hypocotyl, it will be pushed in the upper side, that means above the ground. Hypocotyl, it will be pushed towards downside, that is towards the gravitational force. Hypocotyl, it will develop towards the gravitational force, and epicotyl, it will move towards the sunlight, that means towards the light, photo. And here epicotyl movement we will refer it as phototropism. Whereas hypocotyl movement we will refer it as geotropism. One is towards the gravitational force, one is towards the near to the sunlight, that means above the ground. For this kind of movement to happen, there should be hormones, responsible hormones. So here for the germination of the seed, the very responsible hormone is gibberellic acid, or simply we will refer it as gibberellin. This is a special phytohormone, plant hormone. How hormones we are having, in the same way plants are also having hormones. So majorly 5 hormones: auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid and ethylene. So out of 5 hormones, this hormone is responsible for germination of the seed. And before the germination, for many days seed will not germinate, that means it is present in the resting condition. Say for example, we are having groundnuts in our kitchen. We are having groundnuts for daily our food preparation time. We will use the groundnut, and that groundnut earlier it was present in the shop, and that groundnut which is present in the shop right now, earlier it was present in one godown. It was stored in a godown, and before coming to the godown, so those groundnuts were dried under the sunlight, right? Before drying, the groundnut was very wet, it was having the water content. Now the groundnut is dried and it is shifted to the godown. From the godown, after few days or few months, it is shifted to the shop, and from the shop it came to our kitchen or our home. And when it enters our home, again it will be staying in our home without use for many days. Up to those time, up to that much of time, seed present in the resting condition. When we take that seed, when we soak that seed in water, and when we tie up that seed by the cloth for overnight, it will germinate. That seed will germinate. That means up to the soaking of water, up to giving the water and sufficient condition, up to giving water, oxygen and temperature suitable condition, seed will be in the resting condition. That resting time we will refer it as seed dormancy. We will refer it as seed dormancy. That means seed present in the resting condition. And when the seed is in the resting condition, for keeping the seed in resting condition, here the major hormone used is ABA, abscisic acid. This abscisic acid will keep the seed in resting condition. Gibberellin acid or gibberellic acid, it will keep the seed in the germinating position. That means this hormone work is opposite to this hormone work. This hormone will avoid the seed germination, or it will keep the seed in resting condition. This gibberellin, it will break the seed dormancy, it will break the resting condition, and it will make the seed to germinate. That means both hormones are a little bit opposite in this work. Now here, during germination, this upper portion, what is developing here right now, this upper portion is epicotyl, and this lower portion, this is hypocotyl, And the same cotyledons, these are actually the cotyledons. The cotyledons are nothing but the first leaves. These are the first leaves of the plant. And after the first leaves, we are going to get actual leaves. These actual leaves, we will refer them as foliage. These are the foliage leaves. That means those are the leaves for forming the photosynthesis. Those are the young leaves. But before that one, these are the leaves, and these leaves get stored with the food materials here. By using that food material, the plant will grow certain time. Right? So that is the thing here. And along with that one, we have to give oxygen, and we have to give the temperature here. If it is not getting the oxygen, then it will not germinate. So here is one question. Plant only producing the oxygen, but here now the plant is germinating, now the plant is developing. Since it is not performing photosynthesis, then how the plant will get oxygen? So this is my question. Yes, tomorrow think of this question, and along with that one, related to this concept, if you are having any interested questions, please send that question. And in the next video, let's have another beautiful phenomenon related to the plants. Yes, thank you.